Radhe Govind, my dear students. In the earlier class, we were discussing about the internet protocol. So today we will discuss the internet datagram header or IPv4 packet header and the total packet length. Okay, so in the header there are 4 bits are reserved for version and 4 bits are for header length and 8 bits for type of service, and total length of the IP datagram packet uh, is about 2 raised to 16 bits. Sorry, 16 bits. So this 16 bit actually tells that 2 raised to power 16 octet, or you can say 2 raised to 16 bytes, uh, that is equal to 65535 bytes is allowed for the length of datagram including the header. So such long datagrams are impractical for most hosts and network. All hosts must be prepared to accept datagram of up to 576 bytes, or you can say 576 octets, whether they arrive whole or in fragments. It is recommended that hosts only send datagrams larger than 576 bytes if they have assurance that the destination is prepared to accept the larger datagrams. Okay, so the sender must know that how much uh, amount of the bytes the destination can accept in a particular packet. So the number 576 is selected to allow a reasonable size data block to be transmitted in addition to the required header information. Okay, so the actual total length provided is 6535 bytes including the header, but uh, on the internet the maximum size of datagram packet is allowed, that is 576 for the normal host, 576 bytes for the normal host. Okay, so for example, this size allows a data block of 512 bytes for the data plus 64 bytes for the header to fit in the datagram. Okay, so the header part can have maximum 64 bytes and the data can have 512 bytes. You must remember these things. The maximal internet header is again should be reduced to 60 byte, so that the 20 octet or 20 bytes should be reserved for the other higher level protocols. Okay, so this is the total length parameter for the IP datagram packet. Now similarly, the version tells us the packet internet protocol version. So here we are learning about the version 4. So it will be set to version 4, and there is another version which is IP v6. Okay, for the version number. So 4 bit are set for the version. Internet header length is another field which has which is the length of the internet header in 32-bit words and thus point to the beginning of the data. Note that the minimum value of a correct header is 5. Okay. Type of service provides an indication of the abstract parameter of quality of service desired. Okay, so these parameters are to be used to guide the selection of the actual service parameter when transmitting a datagram through a particular network. Several networks offer service precedence which somehow treat high precedent traffic as more important than other traffic, generally by accepting only traffic above a certain precedence at time of high load. The major choice is a three-way trade-off between low delay, high reliability and high throughput. Okay, so uh, the total length field we have discussed. uh, Identification is again 16-bit field. So the uh, identification field value assigned by the sender to aid in assembling the fragment of a datagram. Okay, so next is flag. So this is the 3-bit flag, which means that uh, this tells us that there are more fragment of this packet are available or not. Bit 0, so in the 3 bits, bit 0 reserved and must be 0. Bit 1, uh, if bit 1 is 0, then there may be another fragment, and if bit 1 is 1, then don't fragment, and if bit 2 is 0, then it is the last fragment. No, not the maybe another fragment. It denotes that last fragment. And if the bit 2 is 1, then we can say that more fragments are available. Okay, and fragment offset is 13-bit field. This field indicates where in the datagram this fragment belongs, because if the datagram packet is fragmented into different datagram packets, then we must know that the original packet location for each fragment. So the fragment offset is measured in units of 8 bytes, that is 64 bits, or you can say 8 octets. The first fragment has offset 0, and so on. Okay, time to live is an 8-bit field, and this field indicates the maximum time the datagram is allowed to remain in the internet system. If this field contains the value 0, then datagram must be destroyed. This field is modified in internet header processing. The time is measured in units of second, but since every module that process a datagram must decrease the TTL by at least 1, even if it processes the datagram in less than a second. The TTL, time to live, must be thought of only as an upper bound on the time a datagram may exist. The intention is to cause undeliverable datagram to be discarded and to bound the maximum datagram lifetime. So why this field is required? So that we can discard the undeliverable datagrams which does not exist in the internet. Okay, next is protocol field of 8 bits, which indicates the next level protocol used in the data portion of the internet datagram. The values of various protocols are specified in assigned numbers. Okay, next field is header checksum, which is again 16-bit field, and it is something related the checksum which we learn in the data link layer also. So the header fields change. uh, this is recomputed and verified at each point that the internet header is processed. So the checksum algorithm is the checksum field is the 16-bit ones complement sum of all 16-bit words in the header. For purpose of computing the checksum, the value of checksum field is 0. This is simple to compute checksum, and experimental evidence indicates it is adequate, but it is provisional and may be replaced by a CRC procedure. uh, CRC procedure depending on further experience. Okay, and next is 32-bit. The next is 32-bit address field, source address field, which we had discussed earlier. 32-bit destination address, and options is an variable field that may appear or not in the datagram packet. They must be implemented by all IP modules, host and gateways. So in some environment, the security option may be required in all datagrams. Okay, so we will discuss about it in some other class. And next is padding. uh, Padding field is added. So this is all about internet datagram header, and the details you can learn in this RFC completely. The main key issues I have discussed. So stay home and stay safe. All the success. uh, and always follow the 7 parameters in this lockdown, which is assigned by the Prime Minister. Thank you. All the best.